Every single year, around 12 billion bullets are made. That's right, 12 billion. Can you imagine that? That is billions of tiny pieces that can change the world in seconds. Bullets that ignite wars, kill and bring an end to lives, and tear apart families. Every bullet is deadly and powerful, just to destroy, to protect, to control. But where do they come from? Who makes them? Why are they produced in such vast numbers, and why? Something so small should be able to do so much damage. After all, every year they churn out billions of these things in factories all around the world. How do they do it? They make so many bullets so quickly, and they're so damn precise with them. It's not just about making bullets. We all know that it is about power, control, and danger. Every bullet forged from a factory can start a war, change a government, or even split a country in two. And gun debate, power, and safety. Each one only gets louder. Today, we are going to give you a peek inside the world of ammunition factories that most people aren't aware of. We're going to go find out what the numbers, the machines, the people who make these deadly weapons are hiding. This one will shock you, so get ready.
Carefully inserted into the case's designated spot. It needs to fit perfectly to avoid any problems.
History is filled with bullets, and they have carved out battles, wars, and in some cases, nations. In the early days of the fight for independence in America, there were not the most advanced weapons. They had to settle for whatever they could. Many church bells were melted down and made into musket balls in the Revolutionary War. These little, simple things of metal became the images of the American fight for freedom. Not powerful like the bullets we see today, but deadly, enough that they helped to begin a nation. But it would just be the start of a long and dark history of bullets. When the Civil War rolled around, bullets already looked different. The mini ball, a new kind of bullet, was a change. The more accurate mini ball was unlike musket balls of ancient times, and severe damage to the human body resulted. Famous for being able to cut through soldiers on the battlefield with remains of death trailing behind, it became infamous. The Civil War was one of the bloodiest in American history, and the bullets fired in it were horrible, ensuring the price of freedom with no uplifting in the after effects. That small, seemingly insignificant mini ball was important in making that conflict one of its deadliest yet.
Slightly smaller than the barrel. And this made it both easy.
World War I and World War II were on a much larger scale, and with them came a shift from small battles between armies to global conflicts that changed the world forever. The fact was that when these wars began, the United States had a robust industrial powerhouse, in factories fueling millions of bullets at breakneck speeds. They estimate that U.S. factories made more than 40 billion rounds of ammunition in World War II. These bullets were not only sent to soldiers in faraway countries, but also became tools of victory, playing a massive role in defeating the Axis powers. But while these bullets helped end wars, they also took millions of lives. The price of victory was written in blood, and each bullet fired marked the end of another life. But bullets haven't just been used in wars. They created controversy, they created outrage, and they changed the way people think about violence and the ethics of that violence. Such a bullet was the British Dum-Dum bullet, developed in the late 1800s. The Dum-Dum was unlike regular bullets, meant to expand on impact and do even more damage to the human body.
Earlier musket balls tended to be stopped by bone and become lodged in soldiers' bodies. The lighter, faster mini balls usually pass straight through. This, combined with the soft-lead bullet's tendency to deform and expand, often resulted in shattered bones and large gaping wounds. Such injuries very quickly became infected, prompting field surgeons to immediately amputate wounded arms and legs. Indeed, during the American Civil War of 1861 to 1865, mini ball wounds accounted for nearly 75% of all amputations, of which some 50.
So brutal that nations banded together and put a ban on it in 1899 under the Hague Convention. The Dum-Dum bullet symbolizes what happens when weapons get too far. That's why it was banned. There should be limits, even in war. The fact that such a bullet even exists, however, is a remarkable proof of just how far we can technologically go with weapons of destruction. Bullets have become so ingrained in daily life in some places, including America, where guns are hotly debated today. More than 12 billion bullets are made every year around the world. The numbers are big, and the reasons for creating them are big too. Bullets are not just weapons of war. They are used for hunting, self-defense, and even as part of their culture in other places. The story of bullets is not just bullets and gunpowder. It's that we choose, and the unavoidable follows. From the low-powered musket balls of the Revolutionary War to the high-powered ammunition present today. But as we look at the bullets that have defined history, one question remains: how are they made? How does it produce billions of these small, deadly projectiles yearly? The next section will take you behind the scenes, deep inside the factories where these bullets are made with precision, speed, and all the scale. The choice of materials, that first bullet, is all. The thing here, though, is that this choice isn't just about doing the thing that works best. It's all about what's there, what rocks, what kills. Lead is used in factories for the lead that gives power and also weight to the bullet. Next, it's copper, which wraps around the lead and forms the material of the outer casing. The combination of the two is a deadly one that could change everything quickly. Getting these materials is a lot more dangerous than it seems. Deep scars are left from lead mining. We poison rivers and rape forests. It's wiped out of the animals that once lived there.
When I was asked to go on this site visit, I was expecting to be crawling in some areas and having it dusty everywhere, but I was blown away at how pleasant the environment was.
For power and precision, it's a sacrifice. These materials help make bullets accurate and effective, but the price for the materials isn't just in money terms. It's in terms of damage to the earth. How can technology help to find alternatives for these destructive materials? Or are we caught in a cycle of destruction and paying for every bullet that is made? It's time to walk into the factory. Molten lead is flowing like lava into molds. The machines are humming. Everything the workers do is with steady hands, eyes implementing perfection as each bullet they make passes their gaze. All of this finally comes together. The lead hardens, the lead becomes the core, and the copper sheets are carefully pressed, molded, and wound around the lead. The bullet is inside of the jacket, which protects it from falling apart as it travels at high speeds. It's not just metal being reformed. This is a life or death process. The bullet could fail one mistake, one tiny flaw, at a critical moment. It might misfire, or it could do worse, causing some harm that was never meant to happen. The workers here don't just build bullets, they build reliability, knowing their creations could be the difference between life and death. This is where skill, precision, and responsibility meet. But as the bullets are created, so too is the weight of what they'll be used for. What does it feel like to know that what you're making could change a life forever? Have you ever thought about why a bullet doesn't fall to the ground when shot? How does it fly straight and hit its target with deadly accuracy? It's all about physics. A gun barrel has grooves inside that rifled it, meaning they spin the bullet as it is shot. The bullet is then spinning, keeping it stable like a football spun in the air. Instead, that's not all. Gravity pulls the bullet down, and air resistance slows it down. For that reason, bullets are so precisely made. Every small bit that goes into making one, the weight, the form, all are engineered to better perform the task. How far can we push that science with technology? What will we see in the future in the way of more sophisticated bullets? Or is that the end of the line?
Right to where they started, and like 2 steps before the new cases are fed in, the complete cases get pulled out of the line, drop down, where they pop out here.
Regarding distance, it's worth mentioning some really mind-blowing things bullets have done. The longest confirmed sniper shot in history is over 2.2 miles, or yes, 2.2 miles. This was made possible with a specially made .50 caliber round. There was wind, temperature, and even taking into account the curve of the Earth itself. What precision did it take to make that shot? It's like shooting a moving target from miles up in a mountain. Some bullets reach so fast that they sail past the speed of sound. at speeds greater than 4,000 feet per second. Lately, these aren't just records for show, and they prove how powerful and precise modern ammunition can be.
Wait. Civilian in play, I repeat, civilian in play.
All bullets that leave the factory have been tested. It's gotta work when you need it to. Each batch of samples is fired, frozen, heated, and spun to simulate extreme conditions. They work in the heat, in freezing cold, and they're tested in the rain. The accuracy and reliability of every bullet must be high. The batch is discarded if there's even the slightest doubt. And workers who do these tests know they're doing something important. It's their job to guarantee that each bullet runs like a charm in actual world situations. It's not just a piece of metal, as when it's being tested, it works. It's a guarantee that it will work when lives are on the line.
I will turn my channel into a beauty channel.
But in the back of everyone's mind, there's always the question, are we making these so many? Perhaps we should be investing in technology that makes bullets more precise, more powerful, more deadlier. But as we look at how these bullets are crafted, we can't help but wonder, what's next? Bullets aren't just tools, they're a loaded gun. It is power, protection, even destruction. They play a role everywhere you look. Bullets are present in the battlefields of war and on the streets where law enforcement patrols. And they are symbols of control because they hold power to end a life or protect one. But as technology pushes the boundaries of what a bullet can do, we must ask ourselves, are we failing ourselves by making these tools more efficient, more deadly? Take a look at how bullets are portrayed in movies. Many people use them as a quick solution to a problem. Heroes and villains alike grab them without contemplating the consequences. In real life, however, the consequences are much more complicated. It's not just a bullet that hits a target. It changes lives every time. The damage can go far further than the physical wound. As we make increasingly powerful ammunition, are we really being responsible, or are we letting violence burn out of control? Bullets are a utilitarian object in terms of self-defense, even life-saving. There is some question about their role, however, when they are abused or used in situations where there was no need for their use. And how much power do we give to our single tool?
No, that's gunfire. No!
In June 2017, YouTuber Pedro Ruiz and Mona Lisa Perez undertook a deadly stunt, during which Mona Lisa shot a gun at the book Pedro was holding, missing him entirely, but killing the book instead. Alas, the bullet passed through the book and killed Pedro. Soon afterwards, the pregnant Mona Lisa pleaded guilty to manslaughter. This is a sad reminder of both the dangers of stupid things you do with content online and the obligation of firearms. Bullets are more than simply small items. They are objects which have served mankind as weapons and shields for ages apart from being instruments of wars and hunting. They can be used to prevent death, yet at the same time generate death and destructiveness. Bullets have made impacts that cannot be overlooked in the world. It is due to them that we have the world that we live in today. However, every bullet raises numerous questions. Should we be afraid of them, or are they a positive or negative entity, or are we simply assuming things altogether? How much should we rely on these small objects to shield us, and how much should we concern ourselves with their application? To this end, when considering history and the future of bullets, there is the need to reflect on what they represent for today. What do you think? Is our continued innovation in creating and employing bullets necessary, or do they have to be utilized in another way? Feel it or not, we would like to know your opinion on it. Below, feel free to leave a comment and let us know what you think. So that was our whole recap of everything, and if you enjoyed this video, I do hope you liked, shared, and subscribed. Always remain curious about the things happening in and around the world.